Hello, Speech 1. So I should be back in the building on Monday, but I'm recording this just in case, so I don't have to try to adjust to being back and recording at the same time. Hopefully future lessons will be direct from class, but we'll see. So let's talk about what you are going to do this week and then specifically for Monday's work. All right, so Monday, going to learn about how to do rough drafts for your social speech. I'm going to show you how to use the template and get that done. Hopefully you picked out your topic and your context last week, so it's easier to do. Tuesday, I'll tell you a story about my second spine surgery. And then I'm going to show you how to practice your social speech rough draft so you can make changes for your final draft. As per usual, you get to choose if you're going to practice on your own or with a partner. If you practice on your own, film and review a video of the practice so you can complete the feedback prompts. Some of you are just writing on those practice prompts, didn't have a partner, and then leaving it blank. Which that's one way to do it, but not a great way to get points because you don't get points for that. Day 3, Thursday, is your work day. So in-person 11th graders are going to be taking the math MCA in the morning or the afternoon. I don't know as of this time who is assigned to which section or how they plan to get the info out, but keep an eye out. I'm sure that guidance counselors will be telling you. So on your workday, I would suggest you, of course, get in missing and revised work. Mid-quarter is next Friday. And then the absolute deadline for weeks 1 through 2 work is Friday, 5/15. So that's week 5. In other words, 2 weeks from now. All right, and then Friday, the lesson will be creating the final draft of your social speech. You're going to have a lot of options for what your final draft looks like. And then you're going to be performing these in person or filmed next Monday. So that's what your work looks like for this week. Let's show you what the handout looks like. All right. So all of your grading this week is formative. You get 5 points for the rough draft, 5 for the practice, and you guessed it, 5 for the final draft. So let's talk about your social speech rough draft, how you're going to write this thing. So you're going to use this template that you can see on the screen here. First, remind and put this at the top to give you a start. From last week, you figured out your type, topic, and context. Go ahead and write that briefly right here at the start. Then you get to start the introduction. I've shown you the speech formula, and I would suggest you use that, social speech. But first, I've also included pieces of it in this template. So first you start with who you are and how you're related to the purpose of the speech, and include that it's an honor to be there. In a moment here, I'll show you in the PowerPoint or in the slides several examples of this. Then detail the background on the significance of the event or the people involved. You can have more than 2 points here, 2 minimum. Part C is develop a theme or a motif to bring people together about the event. A lot of times that involves using a quotation from a famous person and discussing what it means. So in other words, part C is what is the lesson about humans or life that fits the event? D, you close with the last thought on the significance of the event, or you can use a famous quotation to help end it. If it's a toast, a lot of times, like a wedding or an anniversary, a lot of times the conclusion is, please raise your glass with me in celebration of this marriage. It all depends on your culture and what you've experienced before. All right, let's show you. Of course, here's all your deadlines as per usual. So here's the performance rubric, how you'll be graded. Here's the format. So it includes an example of all these pieces, but if that's hard to read, I've also taken the formula and broken it down into the different parts, including sentence starters for you. So here's some sentence starters to remind everyone of purpose. For example, if you're doing a wedding toast, I'm honored to toast, Bill and Bob today, or Sue and Jan, or whoever's getting married. You get the idea. So I have sentence starters for all of these. Same thing for the body, you deliver the purpose. So let's say it's an anniversary of a couple. You would talk about the couple's relationship, like what makes them work. For all of these, for every social speech, you can include little stories. And I highly recommend you do when it's appropriate, because that works well to keep people's attention. All right, and then finally, remind everyone of the purpose in the conclusion. So I have some more sentence starters for you here on how to do that. So for example, if you do a historical anniversary, let's say I do the historical anniversary of the Slinky, it being invented. My conclusion could be, think on what life would be like if there was no Slinky, if you hadn't learned about springs and force as a child. Okay, you get the idea. So you're gonna flesh out your social speech today. Keep in mind you're writing enough. Oh, this is the persuasive speech. I need to switch that. Keep in mind you're writing enough so that you have at least 1.5 minutes. So that's about 500 words if you do a word count. All right, and that's day one. Go ahead and do that.